for the NFL.
Coming up on NFL Primetime, Tony Romo and the boys met the Eagles in Big D. All that was on the line, NFC East and perchance a number 2 seed. Meanwhile, in the last game of the regular season, it is your worst nightmare, and that's what happened to Wes Welker and the Patriots. And the Jets and the Bengals. Jets win and they're in. They are so in.
NFL Primetime is presented by E-Trade.
Well, no surprise in D.C. as Jim Zorn's 2-year run as head coach of the Washington Redskins, OVER. Zone fired Monday morning by Daniel Snyder, the Skins owner. They went 12-20 during his tenure there, but lost 18 of the last 24 games after a 6-2 start. The Buffalo Bills not only fired Perry Fewell, they got rid of the entire coaching staff on Monday. Here's the best part, though. Even though Fewell was dismissed from being the interim head coach, they are telling him he's welcome to be an interviewee for the head coaching job when it's all said and done. We roll on NFL Primetime. So glad you're here with us. Trey Wingo alongside Adam Schefter. Adam, let's get to these coaching situations first. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills. Perry Fewell and everybody out. Talks that Bill Cowher might be going there. What more can you tell us about the possibility of Bill Cowher being the Bills' next head coach?
Trey, obviously he's one of the big names out there, and I was told today that Bill Cowher is not likely to coach in 2010. That doesn't mean that another situation could flare up later this week that could entice him, but right now, Bill Cowher, who did meet last week with the Buffalo Bills in Raleigh, North Carolina, is not preparing to coach next season, no matter how much he would have liked to have entered the league and had thought about it in recent weeks and contacted assistant coaches. The plan right now, and you have to figure this has something to do with the potential openings that will exist, does not include Cowher returning to the sidelines in 2010.
All right, so let's move on from Buffalo, Adam, and go to Washington. Widely assumed that the guy they're looking for is former Broncos head coach Mike Shanahan. How close is that to being a reality in D.C.?
Well, Trey, here's the latest. Mike Shanahan, a short time ago, landed in Washington, D.C., and is now meeting face-to-face with the Redskins owner Daniel Snyder. Those meetings are scheduled to last into the night tonight when the Redskins general manager Bruce Allen will join them. Bruce Allen, earlier in the day, according to one Redskins assistant coach, told his staff that Mike Shanahan is the #1 target of the Washington Redskins, which would coincide with everything that we've heard to this point. But Allen expressed some concern that at least another team could be interested in Shanahan. But Allen, Snyder, and Shanahan will spend Monday and Monday night meeting and going over organizational philosophy. There will not be a deal that is done on Monday. If everything goes well, then on Tuesday, perhaps those talks will advance. But right now, it's more of a feel-out session, everybody getting to know each other, everybody seeing if they can come to some type of agreement about the direction that the Redskins franchise would take. But Mike Shanahan now is in Washington.
And if anybody would know the most updated information, it would be our own Adam Schefter. Adam, as always, we appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
and we continue here on NFL Primetime. Delighted to be joined by Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer. Okay, so it was just a year ago, guys. Final game of the regular season. Cowboys went to Philly, playoffs on the line, and Philly eviscerated them 44-6. So 1 year later, it's the Cowboys and the Eagles again, this time in Dallas. NFC East title on the line, potential 2 seed and a bye also on the line on primetime for Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys. The running game, well, let's just say it was working early. Marion Barber rips off a big gain of 32 yards right there, giving Dallas a short field. They went so long in the regular season without scoring an opening drive touchdown, they've now reeled off 3 straight games with a score to start it off. Jason Witten only his second touchdown of the year. They're up 7-0. Tony Romo was in rhythm. Big chunk yardage trade here to Patrick Creighton.
Yeah, a lot of open spaces in the middle of the football field of the Philadelphia Eagles defense that the Cowboys took advantage of.
Did I mention wide open spaces? On your basic 2nd and 17, why not throw it to Pro Bowler Miles Austin?
But you know what's key?
Yeah.
Asante Samuel, your best corner, is who they attacked on that. So if you feel comfortable about that,
Makes you feel very confident as an offense.
On those two plays, gains of 30 and 40, and here's the payoff, 3rd and 4. Patrick Creighton, touchdown. Trent Dilfer, nice throw.
Yeah, simple concept to attack a cover 2 or trap corner. Tony Romo, great job, shoulder nod in the flat and getting the ball behind the corner of the back of the end zone. That's manipulating the defense.
14-0 there. They were up 17-0, and then the big D in defense harassed Donovan McNabb all dadgum day, Merrill.
Need to remember, Jamal Jackson, the starting center, out. Nick Cole in. Had some moments that broke down with this offensive line. I think the Cowboys take advantage of that the next go-around this weekend.
Mike Jenkins with great coverage there. He's been such a great player this year. Oh, look at the hit by Gerald Sensabaugh on Jason Avant. And Trent, as a quarterback, when you're getting pressure every play, you start to worry about it.
It makes even the best completely immortal, and the Cowboys do such a great job pushing the pocket and attacking from the edges on defense.
They came every which way they possibly could. Anthony Spencer, boy, the last 6 weeks, has anybody played better than this guy?
No.
From a rush end position. How desperate was Dallas to avenge last year? Jason Hatcher, I lose my helmet, I still gonna take you down, Donovan McNabb. Disregard the flag. Jerry World is excited. Jerry Jones is happy. Cowboys win the East 24-0.
I think that's the way you need to go into the playoffs. We certainly couldn't go in on a higher note than we have.
We'll be right back to work tomorrow and them next week, and we're going to see a completely different team. I think from them next week, they're going to, I suspect they're going to send just about every kind of pressure in the book next week. So we'll have to come up with a new plan and be ready for it.
They're the better football team all the way around, offensively, defensively, special teams. And so we've got to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we get ourselves right for this next game.
And again, they will play again wild card weekend. So the Eagles were swept by the Cowboys for the first time since 2005, and in those two games, Philly had the ball for a grand total of 47 minutes and 53 seconds. By comparison, Dallas held the ball for 40 minutes, 23 seconds on Sunday alone. One more Eagles note, they were 0-4 this season against teams that made the playoffs. 2 losses to Dallas. They also lost to the Saints and the Chargers. 2 ways to look at the Cowboys win here, guys. Their offense, by yardage, the most comprehensive and prolific yardage a Cowboys team has ever had. Set a franchise record. But they walk into the playoffs, Trent, with back-to-back shutouts. That's a franchise first. How impressive is this defense right now?
They are hot on defense, and it starts their front four. Their front four absolutely dismantled the Philadelphia Eagles. They are big, they are fast, and they are strong, and they're relentless in their pressure. They take away your run first, okay? That's the key. They build a wall at the line of scrimmage, make you one-dimensional, and then unleash it on you. I mean, every person on this front can attack the passer. They create havoc. I don't care how good a quarterback they face. They make them mortal because they take away the lanes of vision. You can't step up against this Dallas Cowboy defense. Therefore, it takes all your explosiveness out of your offense.
They didn't have the explosiveness in Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, who was so big all season long, really did nothing for them in 2 games against the Cowboys. But that Cowboys offense was explosive. We saw that chunk yardage. They really had the Eagles deconfused.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. Going into the next matchup, this is the biggest concern if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, and I think it's the biggest concern for the Eagles, is what the Cowboys did to them in the last 2 matchups. All the misdirection that they did really neutralizes the second level of that defense. That means the linebackers. Those are your second level players. When they are thinking or they get put in a moment of hesitation, that is the problem, and the Cowboys did a beautiful job of this. The perimeter play on the outside, it's from the end zone angle that you see the misdirection. Really, the backside guard's going to pull, okay? It looks like power to the strong side. Look at the effect it has on the linebacker that ends up being to the play side because they pitch the ball now. Now you freeze him, you hold him, and allow somebody to get up and block him, and now you get people to the perimeter. When you look at this Cowboy running attack and their passing attack, there's some kind of element almost always in their plays. The misdirection, they throw it out to the perimeter. The misdirection, and they run it. It neutralized the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you possibly answer that? I'm going to tell you this. You don't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't. And when the linebackers were the focus for the Dallas Cowboys, they attacked them in the first one, the second one, and they'll do it in the third one.
And everybody worries about injuries late in the season. Well, the Cowboys are actually getting healthier. Right tackle Mark Colombo has been out for a few weeks with a broken leg. They think he might be able to come back and play this weekend when the Dallas Cowboys try and go for a three-peat against the Eagles. Now, what makes this really worse for the Eagles, they had a chance to be the number 2 seed, okay, and they won this game, but they didn't. So Vikings, they take care of the Giants, they'll get the 2 seed. Brett Favre, well, let's just say he had a big day, but I'm not sure there was a lot of things he had to worry about because the Giants, they were looking for tee times early. That's Visanthe Shenko with a touchdown. Favre's 30th of the season. Vikes up 7-0, and it just continued. Brett Favre, a little pump fake, and boy, what a player Sidney Rice has been, Trent.
Yes, absolutely. And Brett Favre at his best when he's creating and when there's multiple looks and he can extend the play and find Sidney Rice down the boundary.
That set up an Adrian Peterson 1-yard touchdown run. And why not go back to Rice? Favre, 4,000 passing yards for the season. It's 24-0. Memo to Giants. You play 16 games. Later, Favre, another touchdown pass to Rice. I mean, Merrill, this was just, it was too easy.
There's obviously great chemistry that's been developed between Favre and Rice. Favre trusts Rice. He will come down the ball because that was not the best throw, but it's that your wide receiver bails your quarterback out.
But listen, this is how it went. Third quarter, Nafahu Tahe, his first NFL touchdown.
I love Nufaha.
41-0, tip of the cap to you, sir. 316 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. The defense harassed Eli Manning and company all day long, Trent.
Yeah, this all starts with offense. So you get the lead, and then this defense is built to play at the lead, attack the passer, create turnovers. They got athletic guys in the linebacking part of their defense and up front. This is how they're built.
You saw the athleticism from Ben Lieber and Chad Greenway there. Greenway getting the pick, and then, oh, look, they went to Jared. Jared Allen with the strip and the recovery. Happy times in Minnesota. 44-7. The Giants give up 40-plus points in their final 2 games of the season. Now, here is how they're going to get this thing set up. Saturday night, the Cowboys in the NFC wild card situation will try and beat the Eagles for the second time in 7 days, and more importantly, get their first playoff win since 1996. And then on Sunday, the Packers will try and win their first playoff game with some other quarterback besides Brett Favre since Lynn Dickey did it in 1982. How long ago was that? Their current quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, hadn't even been born yet. Oh, last time QB,
goodness.
besides Favre, quarterback the pack to a win. When we continue on Prime Time. Oh, them's fighting words between Ocho Cinco and Darrelle Revis, but not much fight Sunday night from the Bengals. And for Baltimore, handle your business and you're still in business. And they did. Just ask Hiram Eugene when they went to Oakland. And again, the last thing you ever want to see on the last game of the regular season, Wes Welker out.
Sign up to the ESPN America newsletter and be the first to know all about the best matchups for the month ahead. Get the latest news from the players and the teams who are making the headlines.
He swings and hits one!
Be the first to view the exclusive offers from our online shop and win lots of prizes in our exclusive competitions and promotions. All from the only channel dedicated to North American sports. Visit ESPNAmerica.com for more details and scheduling information.
Starward Preferred Guest presents a spectacular winter promotion offering up to 40% off at participating hotels across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East when paying with your MasterCard. Enjoy your stay at Sheraton, 4 Points by Sheraton, W, Aloft, Le Méridien, Westin, the Luxury Collection, and St. Regis. Book now and pay with your MasterCard. More details on spg.com/MasterCardTV.
Over the past few years, Donovan McNabb took more hits on the field and in the media as he transitioned from a running quarterback to a pocket passer. But as the number of his scrambles went down, his completion percentage rose. Now, with a retooled offensive line and Deshaun Jackson leading the deepest receiving core of his career, the Eagles hope McNabb will have a career season.
This January on ESPN America, we're ringing in the new year with style. Every BCS bowl game live, including the national championship. The NFL playoffs shift into high gear leading up to Super Bowl 44. Plus, NHL action all month as the quest for the cup heats up. And the long road to the Final Four continues with NCAA college hoops. The brightest stars, the biggest games, all this month live on ESPN America.
Primetime rolls on Sunday night. It was real simple for the New York Jets. Beat The Cincinnati Bengals, they are into the postseason, and let's just say they ran them right out of the Meadowlands. Final game there at Giant Stadium. Brad Smith, is it a Seminole? Is it a Wildcat? You know what it is? It's a really good play on 3rd and 6, and he goes 57 yards all the way down to the 1-yard line, and it really worked, Merrill, because the big guys, including Brandon Moore, were clearing the way.
No question. The first thing that you get by Brandon Moore is you get a seal here. Then you get a seal there, and now Brad Smith is in the alley, my friend.
Woo! Those are all good things. Second quarter, did you say Brad Smith?
I did.
This time under center, fakes the pitch, and this was not a play apparently the Bengals had prepared for. 32 yards, touchdown. Look at Mark Sanchez. J-E-T-S. Fireman Ed, Mark Sanchez are now mind-melded. Chad Ochocinco and Darrelle Revis mind-melding before the game, ready to do some battle, but this was really problematic. Ochocinco comes up limping on that knee. He did come in and play, though, and I tell you what, Trent Dilfer, Darrelle Revis did what Darrelle Revis does.
He does. He covers like a blanket. Got a little help there from the safety, but he just frustrated Chad Ochocinco all night long, and Carson Palmer just limiting them in the pass game.
Yeah, exactly 0 catches. Now, he did not play in the second half, but you can't get any better coverage than that right there. All right, late second quarter. Yes, late second quarter, it's 24 to Bupkis. Carson Palmer. This is one of the few passes that actually was a completion for Carson. Unfortunately, it was to the wrong team. Dwight Lowry takes it back. He was 1 of 11 with that pick in the first half alone. 37-0. The Jets are in. So the Jets are in the playoffs. And guess what, Merrill?
But
they get to go to Cincinnati and play the Bengals. They ran for 250-something yards. They ran them right. I think they had over 50 rushes in this game. It was pretty simple.
Who needs a quarterback?
He's so excited.
I mean,
I love the way the Jets play.
This was the Merrill Hodge philosophy on how to win games.
Amen.
Bengals got problems right now.
Well, listen, you know, we study these teams all year long. You watch them on Sunday, you go home, you plug in tape, you study them, and one word I would never use for the Cincinnati Bengal defense is passive. But I will tell you this, last night they were passive. You can't play this game passive. You have to be aggressive, you have to attack, and you can't sit around and wait. And that's exactly what happened to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, something that Trey actually mentioned during the highlight, they played like they hadn't seen things before. Now, that may be some wrinkles from the Wildcat the Bengals hadn't seen before. Here's where the silver lining is. The Bengals won't be passive in the next go-around. And the Jets did have to use all these kind of formations and plays to win this game. So now the Bengals this week, Trent, as you know, will be watching this tape. Coaches are going to be furious at the way they saw them play. But now you're going to get a feel of what to expect. And I know they're going to build off it, but at least those big plays that they got from them, the Bengals will have seen them, and you expect them to handle them much differently the next go-around.
Do you have some hope for the Bengals?
Absolutely, brother.
So do I, and I've been a believer all year long on them. They got something special. I got this battle going on between my gut and my brain. My gut tells me the Bengals are going to be all right. They correct these mistakes. But my brain tells me there's just a cumulative effect of all the emotional and physical loss this team has endured this year. They've had 2 tragic deaths in the Bengals family, and they've suffered physical losses. Odom, Maluga, Sims, Chris Henry as a player. And I just think there comes a point in time where you get spread so thin, you're a shell of what you once were, and you just cannot be as productive. So for those reasons, I just don't see the silver lining with the Cincinnati Bengals right now.
Well, the Bengals trying to nail down their first playoff win since 1990 when they went to the Coliseum and beat the then L.A. Raiders.
Ooh.
That was the Bo Jackson game where he was tackled avascular necrosis.
Back in the day.
That's how long it's been. Okay, so it was simple for the Jets. They win and they get in. The other simple equation, in what could have been a very convoluted AFC playoff picture, was the Ravens. All they had to do was go to Oakland and take care of business, and they would get in the playoffs. Now, we've seen some pretty big wins from the Raiders so far this year. It did not work out that way on Sunday. First quarter, Joe Flacco to tight end Todd Heap, and what a season he has had, and what a great catch right there. Sets up 1st and goal. And I'm going to tell you, factor back weekend on the final week of the regular season.
Big time.
And Willis McGahee was one right there, a 2-yard run, 7-0. That was nice. This is awesome! McGahee to Hiram Eugene, and he says, I don't need no stinking Hiram Eugene. Is it a stiff arm? Is it a punch? Hey, kids, it's both. 77 yards. Merrill, that's a thing of beauty.
Actually, it's called what we call a factor back slap. Now, this is how you got to do it. Set up the defender. Now, slap him by you.
Just thought of
and
that.
then you're off and running. We work on these things Tuesday through Saturday. Coach said good factor back slap. We need more of that. Get ready, okay, baby? I'm giving you a ball.
Do a lot of that in the next round. All right, that made it 14-3.
Oh!
I don't want to
Jamarcus
tell you what we
Russell
call
comes
this.
in. They're down by a point, and I think we've seen this before. Look, it's an interception to Donnell Ellerbe, who returns it to the 22-yard line. You thought Harbaugh was excited about that. John Harbaugh now excited about this as well. Things are going well. Another McGahee score makes it 21-13. Russell, again, this is not new footage. Antoine Barnes knocks the ball loose. Ellerbe recovers it. His second turnover of the game. And then 3rd and 4, Willis McGahee just punishing people. 36 yards. 167. Ravens win it 21-13. Ray Lewis and company are in the playoffs again. Made it to the AFC Championship game last year. So on Saturday, the Jets and Bengals face off for the second time in as many weeks, although this one will be in Cincinnati. And on Sunday, the Ravens will try and beat the Patriots for the first time. Baltimore 0-5 against the Patriots, and Bill Belichick is 6-0 in playoff openers as a head coach. When we continue on NFL Primetime, good news in Houston. For the first time in their storied history, they're winners. Plus, the Jim Sorgi for Colts team MVP getting louder and louder each week. What is going on with New Orleans and Indy?
Watch the very best live sports action online with the new and improved espn360.com. Get access to over 1,000 NHL games,
What a shot!
including the playoffs and the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals.
The traffic scores!
Get the best NCAA action, including over 300 college football games.
Are you kidding me?
And 300 college basketball games, all live and on demand. Simply choose a package that suits you. To watch the NHL or college sports online this season, simply go to www.espn360.com.
Need to find tickets for the big game or concert? At SeatWave.com, there are over 1 million tickets on sale now for all the latest live entertainment. And with all tickets 100% guaranteed, you'll find just the tickets you're after so you can catch all the action live. Buy and sell tickets at SeatWave.com for live American football, Six Nations rugby, Bon Jovi in concert, and many, many more. SeatWave.com, the fan-to-fan ticket exchange.
And off to Jonathan Stewart, and the black jerseys are all over, but he pulls away! Off tackle, D'Angelo Williams has a crease, and he runs for a first down. He breaks a tackle, and he may go now. It's Jonathan Stewart, left side, stiff arm to the 5, he's in, touchdown! It's D'Angelo off left tackle. He's in the clear across midfield. Get out of my way, Rondé Barber. I got somewhere to go. That was a face plant. D'Angelo Williams dives for the right pylon. He's got it.
NFL on ESPN America. No $1 million contracts.
Great catch. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
No trade deadlines.
Williams with a ton of time in firing. Caught. Touchdown.
No holding out.
And in trouble, and down he goes.
This is American football played from the heart.
Touchdown.
College football lives here on ESPN America. Get into the game and see the dedication, feel the excitement, and witness the tradition with another season of action-packed football. Watch your favorite teams as they battle their way across the nation to take claim of that #1 spot. Show your spirit for the game all season long. College football lives here on ESPN America.
Well, Patriots in Houston playing the Texans. First time they've been there since they won Super Bowl 38 against the Carolina Panthers in that stadium, and it's just your worst case scenario. Stadium on a torn MCL, you could tell Welker knew exactly what had happened to him. Does not look like he will be around for the playoff run for the New England Patriots. And here's what they're losing as you go inside the numbers. You can't overemphasize what this loss is. He has 346 receptions since joining the Patriots in 2007. That's the most in the NFL. 55% of those throws were first downs. Only Reggie Wayne and Larry Fitzgerald have more grabs for first downs over the last 3 seasons. He's also the first man in NFL history with 3 straight seasons of at least 110 catches. In a shortened season, guys, he had over 120 this year. No team, perhaps in the NFL, exemplifies next man up more than New England Patriots. We've seen it happen last year. Brady goes down. Matt Castle wins them 11 games, one more than they actually won this year. But you can't replace Wes Welker. How do they function without him?
Well, that's the first thing. People got to get out of their heads. You're not replacing
Not possible.
But what you've got to look at is when the Ravens go in to game plan against the Patriots, their number one objective is still going to be Randy Moss. They're not going to let Randy Moss get big plays on them and get hurt by that. So you need, and what the Patriots will have to get, is a compliment to Randy Moss. And I think that's what Edelman has shown when he has played. I thought he even looked better against the Houston Texans. I know that he's a rookie, but you want to see how he runs routes. Now, here's a man situation. Wes Welker did. He moved the chains. What Edelman has to do? Move the chains and create opportunities for other guys to finish those drives. And I just believe in studying him this year, I know he doesn't have the experience. I'm not saying he does, but I think that he will give them the balance. In fact, I know this. He's going to give them the balance they need in their passing game, and they're not going to miss very much.
Yeah, we know where they're going to miss them is against the blitz. And what the Baltimore Ravens do best in must-pass situations is bring pressure, especially off the slot. Wes Welker was the slot receiver, and he was the outlet for Tom Brady to handle all the trash. We call them hots, side adjust, whatever you want to call them. He bailed Tom Brady out versus the slot pressure, those outside blitzes. Now, what that takes is trust and timing. When you don't have that with a guy, all it takes is one little mistimed thing, critical mistake, and it can turn into a pick six for the defense. That's the concern going in this game. I agree, Edelman's good versus man, good versus zone. He can supplement him, but that is really the big issue here, losing Wes Welker.
And I concur on that, how important that is. He played quarterback, and I think that's your advantage. I think that's your advantage, that he will identify those things. Maybe the chemistry won't be there, but I think
there's no way the chemistry
identify
can be there.
I think that playing quarterback, here I am giving you guys some props. I think I'm trying not to, but I think that makes this a little different, a little unique, in that he did play quarterback in college.
The only issue is that game he had against the Jets early in the year when Welker wasn't playing, you could tell against the Jets blitz, which is very much like what they're going to see from Baltimore in the playoff. The Ravens will bring that film and take a look because they were not on the same page.
There's been some time under his belt now, though.
Okay, the Welker injury, obviously the headline. The subplot is we saw something in Houston that when we continue here on NFL Primetime, the champs in Miami. Ben had his first ever start there as a pro in 2004, trying to keep playoff hope alive for the Super Bowl champs. And the AFC playoff picture, it is all set. We'll break down what needs to happen. We continue on NFL Primetime.
Sign up to the ESPN America newsletter and be the first to know all about the best matchups for the month ahead. Get the latest news from the players and the teams who are making the headlines. Be the first to view the exclusive offers from our online shop and win lots of prizes in our exclusive competitions and promotions. All from the only channel dedicated to North American sports. Visit ESPNAmerica.com for more details and scheduling information.
Starward Preferred Guest presents a spectacular winter promotion offering up to 40% off at participating hotels across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East when paying with your MasterCard. Enjoy your stay at Sheraton, 4 Points by Sheraton, W, Aloft, Le Méridien, Westin, the Luxury Collection, and St. Regis. Book now and pay with your MasterCard. More details on spg.com/MasterCardTV.
Ben is back. He's going to throw it long. There's a man open. And his pass will be touchdown. Terrific job by Ben, but that was Ben at his best. Ben gets the snap. He's back. Throws it back corner of the end zone. Santonio with a touchdown.
You got to give Roethlisberger credit. That was a heck of a play.
NFL on ESPN America.
When rain descends on an NFL game, it usually means it's time to run the ball.
30, runs for a first down, 40, he may go!
But with the right set of hands, the pass can still be dangerous. Even in the coldest weather, the best can still get hot.
Back to pass. Long throw down the field, and Owens is open. Touchdown.
In the NFL, sometimes the stars can run between the raindrops.
This January on ESPN America, we're ringing in the new year with style. Every BCS bowl game live, including the national championship. The NFL playoffs shift into high gear leading up to Super Bowl 44. Plus, NHL action all month as the quest for the cup heats up. And the long road to the Final Four continues with NCAA college hoops. The brightest stars, the biggest games, all this month live on ESPN America.
Back to the NFL, Steelers in Miami. Big Ben trying to keep the defending champs to have a shot at defending their crown. First quarter tied at 7. You know what? Mike Wallace probably not going to be the rookie of the year, but he is making strides. 54 yards for the touchdown here. Trent, what happened on this play?
They found themselves a gem in Mike Wallace, and this is just a stack pattern. He just outruns the defense, and Ben buys enough time and uses that big arm to push the ball down the field. This is an element the Steelers haven't had a long time. He can flat burn.
Steelers led 17-10 at the break. We move to the third quarter. It is 3rd and goal. Ben Roethlisberger, I dare say, can Heath Miller give me a Santonio Holmes impersonation? Why not? Toe tap right there. Great look by him keeping his feet.
No question. Looking, finding, ballet work paying off, eye-hand coordination by a great tight end. And maybe the most underrated tight end in all of football.
Yes.
24-10. Now, Chad Henne's out because of an eye injury, so Pat White comes in, and boy, this is just really scary. He rolls around the left end, and as he goes down, Ike Taylor comes in, and bang, they collide, hit helmet. You can see suddenly everybody signaling to the Dolphin staff, please get over
applaud right
here.
there, though. Yeah. The Steeler medical staff standing right there responded immediately to him.
It was a scary moment and a vicious collision. He had movement in all of his arms and extremities and legs and feet. It's a concussion. We believe he's going to be okay. Fourth quarter, Steelers up 27-24. Big Ben sacked, fumbled. Now, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers getting nervous here. They had one go the other way for them on a reverse, but that one is a fumble. He went down hard on his arm here, you can see, as he's trying to get back to the ball. You remember that Drew Brees play from a couple of years ago? You get so worried about that. Roethlisberger would return, though. Next, Dolphins possession. They're at the 16-yard line. This is a Tyler Thigpen of the formerly Coastal Carolina. Gets picked off there by Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark playing, of course, or in a part, helping out with the injured Detroit Polamalu. He's the other safety there. Happiness, Steelers hang on, eliminating the Dolphins from contention, but they are not in the playoff picture. What about the Chiefs and the Broncos? Josh McDaniels, remember, sitting down some of his best players, including Brandon Marshall and tight end Tony Scheffler. They have to win and get help, and Jabbar Gaffney may be the catch of the day, guys. Unbelievable. Who had a career day for Jabbar Gaffney.
And Jabbar Gaffney's played well for the Denver Broncos this year. They brought him out for stability at the wide receiver position. He's provided that.
14 catches, 213 yards. You know who else had a good day catching the ball?
Derek Johnson.
Yes, and he's a linebacker, which is never good if you're the opposing offense. Kyle Orton throws it right to him, and Derek Johnson, a lot of people raved about his athletic ability when he came out of Texas a few years ago in the draft, and that's why 45-yard return. Chiefs up by 10, 27-17. This is later in the game. This is not deja video. It's 2nd and 11. Broncos down 6. Orton with a strike 2. Derek Johnson. He's got hands. He's got speed, and apparently he can run a straight line to the end zone. Very nice. And you know, Trent, you always say, how do you make that throw if you're a quarterback? Happens all the time.
This is such a tough break. There's not a quarterback that's ever played in the National Football League that hasn't made this mistake. You lose the linebacker because he comes in as a rusher first, then he scrapes. Really nothing Kyle Orton can do on that one.
Tons of yards for Derek Johnson on returns. That one was 60 alone, but it wasn't the most impressive yardage effort. How about Jamal Charles, also another Texas Longhorn? It was Hook'em Day in Denver. Takes the hole, goes back to the right, then out to the left. 52 yards on that one. Later in the fourth quarter, 2nd and 4. Again, they might have just played Texas fight all day long in Denver. Charles with a Chiefs record 259 yards on 25 carries. Kansas City, their first ever win at new Mile High at Invesco, 44-24. All right, so we look at the wild card playoff picture. The Ravens are back in New England where they lost in Week 4. What to expect this time around?
On the Bengals?
Yeah. No, on the Ravens.
On the Ravens? Well, when I look at the Ravens, you know, the one thing going into this next matchup is the thing that they have is the running back position. They can create matchups. You know, the strength of that team is running the football and creating matchups. When you look at the New England Patriots, they have linebackers that you can take advantage of, and that's what I expect in this one. The strength of the Ravens is going to be that, not just running the football, Trent, but the ability to create those matchups in the passing game as well as the way they run the football. That could be the difference in this one that they didn't have in Week 4.
Yeah, they got to play to their formula. Run the ball hard, play good defense, trust the special teams. It's going to be a tough matchup for them, though.
All right, so let's now look at the other side of the equation here where you have the Bengals and the Jets. They're doing this again, okay? If you're the Bengals, you know, what are we working on here? What are we trying to do?
A lot. I mean, listen, I'm disturbed by what you saw Sunday simply because also every Sunday you watch them on Sunday. Then you plug in the tape and you watch them and you see an aggressive, attacking style defense. You don't see anything about being passive, sitting back, but that's all you saw against the Jets. When they watch this, there's a few things that favor the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets had to use some things to win this game, from the wildcat look to some bunch formations that now the Bengals will be able to work on this week, and now they'll have to respond to that and attack that differently. I would expect a different energy. I would expect them to attack it in more of a blitz fashion than sitting back here being passive. Because one thing watching the game, the Bengals just ran plays. You could tell they didn't attack the Jets. There wasn't a certain game plan to win that game. They were just going to run a defense, run their offensive plays, and see where the chips fell.
Well, they better attack on offense because the Bengals' big issue has been their inability to generate big plays in the passing game, and they're going to need to pull out all their stops. They need to go to their big boy bag of offensive game plans and pull out everything they have to generate some offense. I think it starts with stealing plays on offense. You got to use trickery, you got to use misdirection, you got to game plan and somehow find a way to get the matchup at the right time like they do against the Vikings, show a little reverse action by Chad Ochocinco, then put him back on a swing route, throwing the ball turns into 6. And then you got to throw the big boy bomb. Sometimes you just got to chuck and duck. If you're having a hard time moving the football, get in a formation, get in a personnel grouping where you can get your best player, Chad Ochocinco, an opportunity to get on top of the defense. Once that happens, hey, it's a 50-50 proposition whether you get the play or not down the football field. This is really the Cincinnati Bengals' only hope. They're not going to consistently move the ball against the New York Jets, so you got to steal plays, throw the bomb, and hope to steal some plays in the course of the game to put some points on the board. If they can do that, then the defense can get aggressive and maybe play up to their potential.
All right, so of these teams that are playing wild card weekend in the AFC, who's the most dangerous? Real quick, who is it?
AFC, I still think the Bengals, you know, I know that the things that Trent just mentioned are a question mark. I like them. I still like what they do defensively, even though we didn't see it last night.
I'll say it's New England Patriots. You got Belichick, Brady, Randy Moss. They got a puncher's chance because of those guys.
Well, they know how to win playoff games, especially Brady and Belichick, no question. Now, the Colts are not playing wild card weekend. They haven't been really playing for the last couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, once they went to Jacksonville and took care of business, they were in Buffalo, and it was snowy. Peyton Manning did play, kept his consecutive starts streak alive. A little screen to Reggie Wayne. That is Wayne's 100th reception of the season. Did not play after that. That was the final play of the first quarter. First play of the second quarter. Manning, clearly a designated play to make sure Dallas Clark got a catch. His 100th reception of the season. Last play for Manning and Clark. So they wanted those individual achievements, and then they all went out. And then it snowed. And then it snowed. It is Buffalo, after all. It continued to snow. Hey, listen. In the snow, let it go to T.O.
It still counts.
Yeah.
It still counts, my friend.
By the way, on that 41-yard touchdown, Owens, throughout the game, would pass Tim Brown's for third all-time, Tim Brown, in receiving yards. And then Fred Jackson, the pride of Coe College, he did a number on whatever was left of the Colts defense, Trent.
Yes, he did. That was there wasn't much left.
33 rushes, 212 yards. The Bills won at 30-7. And then you had the Saints. They opted not to play, and Drew Brees sitting this one out because that way he could have one of the most accurate completion percentage years of all time in the NFL. Jonathan Stewart cuts it out to the right sideline, and he's gone 67 yards for a score. So on this run, congratulations to Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams, who did not play, the first tandem running backs in NFL history to both run over for 1,100 yards in a single season. Matt Moore is making this quarterback choice for next year very difficult.
I don't think it's
very difficult because they're paying Jake Delhomme a lot of money, and here's Dwayne Jarrett on the receiving end of a 30-yard strike. And then in the fourth quarter, Mark Brunell, Julius Peppers, by the way, really come on here. Really come on. Very athletic play. Panthers hold on and win it 23-10. The Saints lose 3 straight after a 13-0 start. Okay, here's the real good news for the Colts, I guess. The Saints are in worse shape because Colts have only lost 2. Saints have lost 3. Guys, what do we think of these two teams that went collectively 27-0? 14-0 for the Colts and 13-0 for New Orleans. And now they're losing games left and right.
Well, I'm most concerned about the Saints. And then, when you look at the foundation of their defense, teams have been able to attack that, especially with the running game. And the foundation of any defense is their defensive line. And if you want to go a little further than that, it's really the tackles. And that's specifically where teams have been able to attack. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. They're controlling the tempo of the game. They're controlling the clock. And when you can dictate and score points like that, Drew Brees and that offense, they sit out there. They don't have this on the sideline. There's been no rhythm with their offense. Drew Brees doesn't play this week. That means 2 weeks before they really play a meaningful game. And really, you could probably look, it's been a month before this offense, or the last time they really had a game where there was great rhythm and great timing. So that concerns me a lot going into the playoffs.
You're concerned with the Saints. I'm just flat uncomfortable with the Indianapolis Colts and the statement they made about themselves with how they've handled the last 2 weeks. I mean, you go back with the organizational philosophy to kind of rest players and not chase perfection. I understand that. But then you use Week 17 as an opportunity to chase individual records and get Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark 100 catches. This whole thing makes me uncomfortable. Not just the Colts, but this league-wide understanding that we're going to rest players, but yet we'll get them in there for individual awards, that winning every game isn't paramount, that these guys are getting paychecks every single week. Their job is to go tee it up and give their best effort. I'm very uncomfortable with the way the Colts have handled this, and I think it comes back to bite them in the playoffs because they will lose that edginess, that togetherness it takes.
Well, listen, when they made their run to the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 41, they played hard to get the 3 seed, so hopefully they could host the AFC Championship game. That's exactly what happened. They won 3 playoff games and then, of course, went on to win the Super Bowl. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, what about the NFC wildcard picture of the teams playing who is really poised to make a deep run into the postseason? Plus, we do it every week, Primetime Performers. We're going to tell you why we're sort of changing the name of the award for this final primetime of the regular season.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Join us every Monday night for live NFL. Get ready for the big game with Monday Night Countdown. Then it's showtime as 2 more teams step onto the gridiron.
What a play!
For the Monday Night Showdown.
No way! Touchdown Arizona!
Monday Night Football on ESPN America. Go to espnamerica.com for schedules and information. Watch the very best live sports action online with the new and improved espn360.com. Get access to over 1,000 NHL games,
What a shot!
including the playoffs and the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals.
Through the traffic, scores!
Get the best NCAA action, including over 300 college football games.
Are you kidding me?
And 300 college basketball games, all live and on demand. Simply choose a package that suits you. To watch the NHL or college sports online this season, simply go to www.espn360.com.
That's as explosive as I've seen DeMarcus Ware.
Wow, and you've seen him explosive before.
Ware has come and got him. It's been a marathon for DeMarcus Ware, and he finally got there. Flushed out. Ware chasing. Ware grabbing. Ware sacking. Ware's coming and Ware's got it. Ware's got it. 3 today. Hit, carried, gobbled up by DeMarcus Ware.
NFL on ESPN America.
No million-dollar contracts.
Big catch! Touchdown, Notre Dame!
No trade deadlines.
Williams with a ton of time in firing. Caught! Touchdown!
No holding out.
And in trouble, and down he goes.
This is American football played from the heart. College football lives here on ESPN America. Get into the game and see the dedication, feel the excitement, and witness the tradition with another season of action-packed football. Watch your favorite teams as they battle their way across the nation to take claim of that #1 spot. Show your spirit for the game all season long. College football lives here on ESPN America.
Primetime rolls on. Packers, Cardinals, Aaron Rodgers. Boy, what a season he's had. First player in NFL history, 2 straight years as a starter, 4,000-yard seasons. Here we go. Goes deep for Jordy Nelson. It's a 51-yard pass play.
He's going to come back later.
It's foreshadowing from Merrill Hodge. That led to a Rodgers touchdown run. He was 21 of 26. Boy, Charles Woodson, he's got to be
D.
top 2.
Fancy. M.
What?
B.
1 or 2. That's all it is. Interception here, his 3rd pick 6 of the season. Green Bay went up 26-0 at the break. Matt Leinart has had better days, most of them at USC. Completes the pass
All of
to
them at
Anquan
USC.
Bolden, but you see this. Woodson comes down awkwardly, left the game with a shoulder injury, bruised shoulder, said he could have returned, didn't need to. The Packers rolled Arizona 33-7. So it's a rematch here, Merrill. And listen, what does Arizona need to be concerned about here? Because Green Bay's played them in the preseason, regular season, and taken it to them both times.
Yeah, and there's one common denominator in both those
Big plays.
And it is, hey,
There you go.
you were at the meeting.
Jordy Nelson.
It's every game they talk about it. Big plays, big plays, big plays. In the preseason game, it was very interesting. They were able to create a big play off of run action. Run personnel, you got one wide receiver on the field, Jordy Nelson, and you get a big explosive play. Touchdown in the preseason. Well, that happens in preseason, right? Go to the regular season. A little different formation, but same type of run action. Jordy Nelson again over the top. Another big play by the Packers. That's not a coincidence. The Packers have been able to find those big plays. And I think for the Cardinals, it's going to come down to their ability to stop that, and really vice versa. But at the end of the day, whoever wins this game, it is a nightmare matchup for the Saints. The Saints do not want to see either one of these teams because these teams have the ability to break down the weaknesses of the Saints without question.
All right, so that's the one wild card game. The other one is the 3rd meeting between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Trent, Cowboys got to do something different because the Eagles are expecting what they've been gotten at the last couple of games.
Or more of the same of what they've done the last 3 weeks, and that's finish drives offensively. This is an offense all year long. It's been prolific in terms of yards, but not in terms of points. Lately, they're finishing off drives. Now they got to add one more element into the playoffs, and that's big-time Jason Witten. He caught a touchdown in Week 17 against the Eagles, but they got to feature him in the red zone. How they finish drives will determine how they finish games in the playoffs. I believe if they can get Jason Witten even more involved in the red zone, this is the best team in the NFC, and this will be the football team that represents the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Hey now, that would make sense because 3 of the last 4 years, your Super Bowl champ did play on Wild Card Weekend. Only the Steelers last year, as Merrill well knows, did not fall into that category. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, listen, you can't say enough good things about what Chris Johnson has done, but not only the 2,000 yards, there was a more significant yardage mark he passed on Sunday. We'll break that down for you. Plus, our primetime plays of the year, not just of the final week of the regular season, the best of the best.
Watch the very best live sports action online with the new and improved espn360.com. Get access to over 1,000 NHL games, including the playoffs and the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals.
The traffic scores!
Get the best NCAA action, including over 300 college football games.
Are you kidding me?
And 300 college basketball games, all live and on demand. Simply choose a package that suits you. To watch the NHL or college sports online this season, Simply go to www.espn360.com.
You don't think I want the best? You better check your record.
Jake Delhomme throwing left side, completes, got Steve Smith out there, first down, and Smith pulls away.
You can try to contain me, but you can't stop me.
Near sideline, Smith makes the catch. Steve Smith in a crowd of people makes the catch. Looking long in middle, leaping grab, caught. Did it again.
Are you kidding me? My goodness, Steve Smith, what a play. Steve Smith is absolutely incredible.
NFL on ESPN America.
Snap this back to Ronnie Brown. Run to the right.
Oh, yes!
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Wildcat. That's our playbook now.
Once again, direct snap to Ronnie Brown. Fakes it to the left. Throws to the right.
Yes! He's got it!
That's where it's going to be. Whatever it takes. Wildcat offense again. Landed once. Now tips it back.
Oh, my God!
Downfield. He's got a receiver. It's going to be a touchdown, Dolphins.
NFL on ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise, for the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
Starward Preferred Guest presents a spectacular winter promotion offering up to 40% off at participating hotels across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East when paying with your MasterCard. Enjoy your stay at Sheraton, 4 Points by Sheraton, W, Aloft, Le Méridien, Westin, the Luxury Collection, and St. Regis. Book now and pay with your MasterCard. More details on spg.com/MasterCardTV.
This January on ESPN America, we're ringing in the new year with style. Every BCS bowl game live, including the national championship. The NFL playoffs shift into high gear leading up to Super Bowl 44. Plus, NHL action all month as the quest for the cup heats up. And the long road to the Final Four continues with NCAA college hoops. The brightest stars, the biggest games, all this month live on ESPN America.
For a second? Please. Let's do it. Redskins
Get me there, baby.
And Chargers. San Diego going for an 11-game winning streak heading into the postseason. Philippe Rivet did not play long, but he played well.
Enough.
To Antonio Gates. Well, Antonio Gates does things athletically for a man his size he should not be able to do.
You talking about a nifty route runner.
You got that right. 10-0. Rivers would sit the rest of the game. In comes Billy Volek, whom Trent really likes where he's come in his career.
Yeah, he's made huge strides as a professional football player. I believe he might be the best backup quarterback in all football.
Well, listen, he's making the case there with those kind of throws to Craig Davis, stopped just short of the first down.
So maybe it's not Phillip Rivers.
Well, yeah, okay.
Stop that.
That's silly.
I knew I'd get their dander up.
That's Mike Tolbert there. Chargers going to win 23-20, 11 straight wins. Don't know. Who is Mike Tolbert?
No, I said, what was that?
Oh,
that wiggle worm.
You know who that is?
Yeah, Chris Johnson.
Okay, just check.
Great.
Trying to
Any more help?
No, we're good.
Well, this is called a draw, a delayed draw. This is called a seam, an alley, and a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, his dander up.
Did you say an alley? I've never heard you say that before.
Never.
And then on 4th and 2, CJ rushes for 6 yards, and it's a touchdown. He's going for the 6th back in NFL history to get 2,000 rushing yards. He had 40 in the first quarter. Fourth quarter, he needs just 8. 2nd and 2, and woohoo! There it is. He's breaking free on a 60-plus yard run. He may get the all-time record that Eric Dickerson has. It's a touchdown. He's over 2. No. Flag. This is the call? Look at it right there, holding.
That
right?
is so
right?
tic-tac. Come on.
I don't like it, Merrill. I don't like it.
Jeff Fisher and Mike Heimerdinger, I think they don't like it either.
Guess what? They're right.
By the way, same drive, up the middle for 4 yards, and there it is. 2,000 yards rushing for Chris Johnson. Congratulations. Well done. And then he gets the game-winning touchdown. Oh, by the way, also in this book, he passed Marshall Faulk's single-season record for most total yards from scrimmage, 2,509. Very impressive.
Incredible.
17-13. Let's lead the way with Chris Johnson, shall we?
Please.
Because that's what's most significant here. Look, 2,000 yards is an amazing accomplishment.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. It's phenomenal. But when you're saying you broke the record held by Marshall Faulk in that 99 Rams offense.
And that is a great, I emphasize, great football player in Marshall Faulk.
One of the all-time best. Johnson also had 1,200-yard rushing games this season, including 11 straight to finish the season. All right. You know what? Those were really good plays that Chris Johnson had. But we're going to give you now our best primetime plays of the entire year. And because Trent clearly finishes third in this category, we're going to let him go first. Yeah.
Good. That's
we're
an
going
excellent
3-1. So Trent, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're just jealous because I have the correct
Coming in with the bronze medal.
Week 3. This is when
standing on the lower podium.
Magic was
They're not playing your anthem.
To Minnesota.
What is
the
this?
best play of the year, the 32-yard dime to Greg Lewis. Let me mention, this was his only touchdown catch of the year, Greg Lewis. Look where he throws his ball. He's throwing it at the Fox sign with the game on the line, but he knows Greg Lewis is coming there. That is a no-brainer play of the year.
Enjoy your bronze.
I would say that's one of the luckiest plays we've ever seen.
And
you want to talk about
this is
no, this is about heart, about effort, about measurables that you can't go with a stopwatch. Robert Meacham, is that play over? No, he's like, no, thank you. Strips the ball, returns it for a touchdown, and saves the Saints season at that point of staying hopefully undefeated.
That was a great silver medal performance. But the first shall be last. First week of the season, it's not Pittsburgh's immaculate reception, it's Denver's immaculate deflection off this play. Brandon Stokely, and the best part about it, you want heart and smarts. He ran along the end zone line to roll time off the clock. And then, of course, Denver went 6-0 and failed to make the playoffs. But when we continue on NFL Primetime, we're giving out our NFL Primetime Peyton Player of the Year award.
Sign up to the ESPN America newsletter and be the first to know all about the best matchups for the month ahead. Get the latest news from the players and the teams who are making the headlines.
He swings and hits one.
Be the first to view the exclusive offers from our online shop and win lots of prizes in our exclusive competitions and promotions. All from the only channel dedicated to North American sports. Visit espnamerica.com for more details and scheduling information.
The Cardinals take on the Steelers.
Looking for an unprecedented 6th Super Bowl ring, the Steelers played a dominant first half.
Picked off James Harrison after. He's running up the sideline, and that's a touchdown for Pittsburgh.
The unflappable Cardinals engineered a fourth-quarter comeback with Larry Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, he got it! Fires over the middle of Fitz, caught at the 45-50.
Fitzgerald, after a quiet first half, has become a force here in the second half. 2:31 left. Steelers have 2 timeouts. They trail by 3. He scrambles around, throws it back corner of the end zone. Santonio Holmes! I don't know how he did it!
Roethlisberger looked to the right, to the left, back to the right, and then threw it into the very corner of the end zone.
The confetti's all in the air. This was a great one, and the Steelers prevail.
NFL on ESPN America.
Watch the very best live sports action online with the new and improved espn360.com. Get access to over 1,000 NHL games,
What a shot!
including the playoffs and the 2010 Stanley Cup Finals.
The traffic scores!
Get the best NCAA action, including over 300 college football games.
Are you kidding me?
And 300 college basketball games, all live and on demand. Simply choose a package that suits you. To watch the NHL or college sports online this season, simply go to www.espn360.com.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're giving out our prime time performers, and
mine are Chris Johnson. Oh, wait a minute. Deshaun Jackson, AFC, NFC. It is a race. They're off. Their photo. It's down the line. It's Johnson. It's Jackson. It's Jackson. It's a photo. 2 of them. Johnson, Jackson, primetime performer of the year.
That's pretty darn good, but this is about quarterbacks. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, both of them unbelievable seasons. They were on the same team for a little while. I love both these guys.
That's really nice. I would have gone with Brett Favre. We retired the award because Peyton should win it every year. Thanks for watching. See ya.
You are watching. Pardon the interruption.